Good day and welcome to another exciting episode of Poly TV Newspaper Review and Analysis. Today it's a very wonderful Friday, and then we're excited because it's very close to the weekend. I am Samuel Olani and I'll be the host for today's program. I'm being joined in the studio by our own analyst and also a political and current affair commentator, Mr. Simon Fakeye. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get straight to it. We have the Nigerian Tribune, we have the Punch, as well as Daily Trust newspaper to review this morning. First, on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, we have very interesting story concerning the security apparatus of Nigeria. It says IGP submits state police framework to Senate. It also has a rider that states 75-page document focuses on operational, legal and administrative implications. A lot of people have commended the current IG, as well as even the former IG, concerning the issue of this state police. But as it seems now, we are getting closer to getting it, accomplished at the moment. But I want to find out from you, do you think at this point in time that the last time we spoke about the state police, we talked about how some governors might eventually use it to witch hunt their their oppositions. So, but at this point where we already have the report being submitted to the Senate, I want to find out, do you think Senate might have that luxury of time to really look at the framework in terms of looking at it page by page, because it's a 75-page document, and then what's the implication does it have to Nigeria generally?
Okay, it's not too much. There is a committee set up to on police affairs and other security operatives at the National Assembly. So it is the duty of the committee to look into it. Copies of the documents with just the framework will be given to each member to study, and they go home with it, come back with their position on how to move the country security architecture forward. So it's a good thing for Nigeria, and I think every community will benefit from it, as we are all expecting. The framework, Nigerians have been bothering about how is it going to look like, who is going to be in control of state police. Are they going to be working together with the federal police, or what will happen? Then, with that framework, I think it will be clearly stipulated that state police will be independent while working in cooperation with the federal police. And I still want to maintain that at the end of the day, clauses like the federal police should be supervising the state police must be included, and our area of concern should be about funding and the power abuse by the state governors who will now occupy the position of the chief security officer in the real sense of it. Yes, they occupy the position now, but at the same time, it is the federal government that is the chief security of the state. So by bringing in about the state police, the governor will now be in charge. So that framework will definitely help the National Assembly to come up with law that will limit their power. And I think they can do that by creating a solid foundation, an enabling environment for a court of law to function, and some commission that will monitor the state police. So I mentioned funding because as it is now, despite the fact that federal government provide kits for police, they pay good salary and all of that, some of our police officers, you won't like to say hello when you see them. Some are with tattered uniforms, some have boots, which is not, a local hunter would not like to go to hunting with that. So I'm looking at a situation where there won't be problem for states to pay good salaries for state police, to kit them, and to create enabling environment, conducive environment for them to operate. When you visit some of police barracks, you won't be happy. So if that can be obtainable at the federal level, then what are we expecting at the state level? So I'm afraid, and the resultant effect of that is that if they are not properly taken care of, you know, we're talking about security. There could be problem. So we will all beg and appeal to the National Assembly members, the committee in particular, to please look into the framework with the mindset of the general masses who will bear the brunt if anything goes wrong here.
Okay. Thank you for that insight into the Nigerian state policing policy. Still on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, today we have another story. It says, Anioma State creation receiving attention. That's according to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. And as it seems, now it seems the only state that is gaining popularity at the moment happens to be the carving out of Anioma State from the Delta State, where we are going to have the old Asaba being the capital of the new Anioma State. But I want to find out what happens to the other state that we've been hearing. You know, at the point we heard about Ijebu State, we heard about Ibadan State, and then so. But from your own perspective, what really happens now that we're having just one state being projected, you know, to make it true?
Well, at the end of the day, it is likely that we have nearly all those states that will scale through. But the issue of, let's take the example of Ijebu State for instance. Yes, activities are ongoing, consultations, negotiations are on the way. But, you know, human beings are self-centered by nature, and they are insatiable. So, now, at the beginning, Ijebu and Remo were in agreement. It got to a stage where the agreement just come in terms of the sharing of local governments, the sharing where is going to be the capital, and all those. Well, to me, I may say it is minor, but to them, it's a major problem. So those issues has caused many states the agitation to lie low for some time. But at the end of the day, we'll come up with, because they wouldn't afford to miss or to lose it. So give and take. That has been the way God created the earth. Somebody must be at the edge. Somebody must be at the receiving end. There's nothing we can do about it. So whatever happens, those states will come up. Okay. They will be created at the detriment of some and as again to others.
All right, straight to the word of the Punch newspaper. On the front page of the Punch, 32 governors, 8,450 delegates arrive Abuja for APC convention. 32 governors, 804.50 delegates arrive Abuja for APC convention. APC seems to be getting it at this point in time right, unlike the other parties, right. Exactly, because PDP, they are still trying to reconciliate. ADC are trying to, you know. So I want to find out from you, what do you think would have been, what is exactly the formula that the President Bola Ahmed led, you know, APC has been able to utilize towards ensuring that the House is, you know, is not in rumbles, as we used to have in the past?
Yes, we come back to the issue of somebody must be in charge. And Jagaban himself has been in charge. And you know, APC is known for godfatherism. Yes, you can't just come in today and find your level, just as water would does ordinarily or naturally. No, you have to queue. There are some people that will take decisions on your behalf. There will be recommendations. That is what is obtainable in APC. So everything is organized to some reasonable extent. Look at the issue of the form that some are crowing foul, that they paid for form and they were not given such form. The whole party has come out to say, no, it is a lie and all of that. So that is APC. As much as the leader is in charge and the cabals, let me use that word for them. So, and which means that members and the stakeholders, I mean the leadership, were to some extent respectful of the ranks, and you dare not do anyhow. In APC, you see anyhow.
Sure.
So to some extent, the selfishness of the stakeholders are being checked somehow, unlike in PDP, where everybody is a leader, where you don't have somebody who can say, okay, because of this, for the interests of our followers, let's do this. So there's difference between APC and PDP. Even where APC was in opposition, they were better organized. During the Jonathan Goodluck, former President Ebele Jonathan, there was a protest in 2013 or 2012. Look at the organization of that protest. On, I think, January 1 or January 2. Since then, which of the protests, since APC has come into power, that have been so organized?
At all.
The NSAS thing, the way it's... So, I want to give it to APC for their leadership style, unlike PDP, APC, and others. Look at it. 32, I think I'm correct, 32 governors. They count
32 governors currently
into the party. And the convention is being held now, today, in Abuja. There was a public holiday in FCT. You can see that structure. So it is something that other opposition can try to emulate, I think, in favor of Nigerian opposition.
All right, thank you for that answer. Still on the Punch newspaper. On the front page of the Punch newspaper from the foreign scene, it says, UK raises visa citizenship fees for Nigerians and others. This is just barely a week after President Tinubu, went to visit the British monarch, and that's Prince Williams. But people are saying, is that supposed to be what Nigerians will be greeted with? Because as it seems now, from April 8, 2026, there's going to be a new an increment in the fees that are being paid by Nigerians to obtain the UK visas. From your own perspective, what implication does this have on Nigeria, as in terms of people wanting to, students going there and all that? What implication do they have for Nigeria?
Well, maybe it's a way of discouraging them
to Japan.
To Japan. Because people who are on tourism or who, the tourism visa and all that, those who are going there for business or for tourists, most of them won't complain as such. But for somebody like from my background, after all, for the day, so who doesn't have anything will feel that the increment in the visa fee is becoming high. But I want to believe that it's a strategy to discourage Nigerians from going. Visa fee is unrefundable. When you pay, and when you are not giving, the money is gone. So it's a way of discouraging them. And if I will have to say something, I will say, well, Nigeria is good. It's good to travel abroad. At the same time, maybe all of us should stay. How would they put it? To stay here.
Stay here.
And see how we can move the country forward.
All right.
And pardon me, especially now that the world is trying to identify with the structural transformation going on in Nigeria. Yes, it has not been applicable to what some of us can see in the price of commodity things like that. But the country is being restructured. So for the Western world, they are beginning to see a limelight. So as a way of saying, you young guys, stay and see how you can contribute your quota to move this country forward.
All right. I hope our young ones are listening to what he just said, the advice he just gave. Now, straight to the world of Daily Trust newspaper. On the front page of Daily Trust newspaper, it says, power outage bites other. I think we can actually relate with this particular story. Just a few days, we saw the Minister of Power apologizing to Nigeria. And I would say, I think in Ilaro for the past over a week or 2 weeks now, we've not had any blink of power supply in the country. From your own perspective, we still have so much to do concerning power, and it seems the Nigerian administrators are not getting it correctly. I would want to find out from you at this point. Do you think the Minister of Power, who is saddled with making such transformation, He also has ambition to become the governor of Oyo State. Isn't that a distraction for a minister? From your...
Even before now, you see, it's a way of giving him a soft landing. If we want to agree that it is his ambition to fight for governorship position that is causing distraction, no. I want to believe that Mr. Minister it's like he lacks what it takes to operate in that arena as Minister of Power. We can take example from the Minister of Interior. We see how quickly he transformed that. Yes, right from the days of former President Obasanjo and late Chief Bola Ige, where he was the former Minister of Power. At the end of the day, the old man came out to say that, hey, he didn't know that the problem with NEPA then was so huge. So it's just like that. It's like this minister did not know what he was going into. Perhaps his experience was not in that direction. So also to say that what is these people, IDBDC or whatever, the Genco or whatever, they lack that intel to bring about power, to bring about light for Nigerians. There are ways to end this problem. I think we have the MTN, we have Glo, I mean the service providers who are doing well. Yes, they are not being optimal, but to some reasonable extent, we can rate them at 70-75. If we can have our electricity at the rate of 55-60, I think for now it is okay. But these people are not being proactive. They are not doing anything. They just have to sit down, look at how through technology creates a platform, an app that will be using, just like we are using, we are recharging our phones for our recharge card, and people can just from their phone try to connect with your whatever grid or whatever they call it. So they are being lazy, they are being inexperienced and not fit for that position. So it's not about government, but about the people they put into such offices.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simon Fakeye, for your time on the program today. And that will be all on newspaper review and analysis.